You're live, it says. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff that happened Saturday. I mean, they tried to shoot Trump. I mean, I'm not laughing at the fact that you know, it happened, but I'm laughing at the fact that everybody saw for what it was. It was a blatant attack on a political opponent. I mean, that's. I mean, it's a Teddy Roosevelt moment, you know, and they just propelled his popularity right up through the glass ceiling over there. You know, I guarantee you, the only people that still don't want Trump in office right now are the freaks and the weirdos, and the people that are mentally skewed. I mean, that's that's all I can say. You know, I mean, I live on SSI, okay, at SSI and food stamps, and they cut my food stamps off. Oh, you didn't. They, I can barely get down to get the mail. They don't provide any assistance to the handicap, okay, at all. It's all smoke and mirrors bullshit. Most of the people they got working with the handicapped, unless you're a family member, are ripping off the people that they're working with, are ripping off the government's money. And I do that because I had two times I tried it. They stole the money. They stopped showing up and stole the money. One lady was signing my freaking signature. I don't know how she got away with it because my signature changes. It looks the same, and if you get a person that studies handwriting out, it's going to seem sloppy. But I'll show him how I do it once, and I show him how I do it again, and he can point out everything that makes it the same signature. That's the way my dad taught me. He said, "Do not make your signature pretty. Don't make it flashy. Just sign it. That way, people can't copy it." Because you need a signature expert to tell that my signature is the same. Seriously. I mean, I have certain flourishes in it that can't be copied because everything in between is a jumble. It says Charles E. Springer Jr. and you can see Charles E. Springer Jr. You know, so anyway, back to my point. Like I said, I'm on SSI. All right, the prices have gotten so high, and like I said, they cut off my food stamps. Why did they cut off my food stamps? Okay, I'm on SSI. I'm disabled. I can't go to the food stamp place every 90 days and turn it in. And that was the agreement because I'm on SSI. The food stamps and SSI, they have the SSI and the food stamps because I'm not making enough money with my SSI to afford food. It's because they're giving it to fucking illegals, man. They I had to have a social worker for the VA hospital actually call them because my phone won't handle that long of a phone call. Now I tried to call them and they can't get, I'm not getting back in. They're getting overloaded with phone calls, which means they're stealing the fucking SSI to give it to fucking illegals. That's what they're fucking doing. That's what happens every time with this government bureaucracy. You don't want to listen to people that are on this stuff, man. You want to just hear what you fucking think is going on. I don't see any undercover reporters ever walking into any of these agencies. None of them. None of them. And then try to shoot the man is gonna help people. That's gonna bring the country up, bring jobs back, bring all this stuff back, bring the industry back, maybe take us back to the '60s in money wise. You don't think that can happen? Yeah, it can, man. It could be a real quick fix too. Real quick fix. You just fucking file bankruptcy against the IRS, man. You tell them that you you file bankruptcy and write them off. But you got the IRS is about ready to get audited. They're about ready to audit it. Trump did a lot of things when he was in office. One of the best things he did was he put the IRS inside the Treasury Department. It's not a separate entity anymore. It's a department of the Treasury now. That's why when you look at the $100 bills, they have the half and half note, the Treasury note and the Federal Reserve note on a $100 bill. Audit the Fed. When you find out that they've been ripping you off, all our debts are canceled because it's a federal crime. In the United States, it's a crime what they're doing. You prosecute them out of that crime, kick them out of the United States, bring back the gold standard, and print just as much money as gold as you have. That's how the gold standard works. That's how it works. You print only as much money as you have gold in your reserves. That's why it's called the federal. That's why it's called the freaking Treasury Department, because it's the United States Treasury. As a matter of fact, that's their Secret Service came out of the Treasury Department. So um, that was the biggest mistake I've ever seen them make. I mean, Teddy Roosevelt did the same freaking thing. He stood up. Teddy Roosevelt got shot, and I think it was because he had his speech he had prepared in his breast pocket, and that caught the round. It was enough to hurt him, but he gave a 90-minute speech with a round in his chest. You know, Trump just did the same thing, man. They took part of his ear. I think there was a hole in his jacket too. But I think he's got a bulletproof vest. That's why I think he. That's why I think they pulled him down. That vest, he got a bulletproof vest. I mean, they got. Any assassin's going to have a rhino round anyway. They'll round and penetrate the vest. They generally don't do shots when they assassinate unless they got a. Unless it's like Kennedy, he was wide open. Trump wasn't that wide open, man. There's a lot of variables when you shoot from that far off. That kid didn't take the shot. He might have been the one that dinged Trump's ear. That kid could look like he couldn't shoot his way out of a paper bag, man. His dad probably took him hunting, and that was it. He's got hunting experience. Okay, hunting experience. You're not usually unless you're shooting a dock, or most of the time when you're shooting something, usually you stay down, you stay low, don't make that thing move, and you shoot at it. You want a standing target when you're hunting. Especially big game like deer, bear. You want to make sure things low so you get the right spot. Rabbits and stuff, you can hit them with a shotgun and take them down. But anyway, that was the biggest mistake I ever seen this whole political bullshit make. I mean, the cabal at the top, the day is ending, man. The days are ending, man. It goes to the people on YouTube too. All you idiots that work at YouTube that watch these videos. I mean, you're just cannon fodder, man. You're just like that kid on the roof, man. You're exactly like that kid. Exactly, man. That kid had his head blown off. 20 years old, man, just because he wanted to be a fucking activist. Or you wanted to be a rogue or wherever. You wanted to do fucking Call of Duty or fucking some kind of fucking war game fucking video game. You wanted to be that sniper. They twisted his mind up and now the kid's dead. The only base that the deep state has left is the loyal criminals, pretty much. People that know they committed treason. There's a website where they got like so many unsealed or sealed indictments, man. They're just waiting. This is a whole sting operation, man. And it just the whole website of sealed indictments, man. I mean, as soon as Trump gets in office, boom, they're gonna start unsealing that thing. People get picked up left and right. Seriously, there's gonna be like Night of the Long Knives, and these people aren't gonna be murdered. They're gonna be taken to Gitmo. They're gonna be put on trial, and they're gonna be executed if necessary. Spend a long time in prison if necessary. Okay, this is coming down to the end of all this stuff, man. Seriously, it's come down to the end of all of it. And this has been a sting operation from the beginning. From what I understand, it's gone back a good since 2010. They started noticing that crap with Barry Soetoro, or Barack Obama, what they call him now, and Michelle or Michael LeVar or whatever his name is, Michael Robinson, and Bill Gates, the three musketeers, man. I got pictures of them together. I got pictures of Michelle Obama as Michael Robinson with a fucking 5 o'clock shadow cozied up to fucking Barry when he was Barry so in their high school in their college days. And you can tell they're not Photoshop because most of these are Polaroids, and you cannot Photoshop a Polaroid. You can't. I've been working with Photoshop a long time. I get a Polaroid, you can't do it. You can do it, yeah, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. Okay, but you won't. You can tell. You can tell it's Polaroid. Okay, believe me, you can tell it's a Polaroid. You know, but that was like, I mean, I didn't even watch. I don't even watch it. I don't watch much. I might watch him Trump debate, but I don't listen to his speeches. I don't like. I just go by what I'm hearing from other people. I do listen to his speeches if something's controversial. I'll go back and look at the speech and see what happened. But generally the media's going to twist everything he says anyway, so I don't believe that the crap they say about him in any of the mainstream media. You know, and it's funny, I have to go to the conservative side just to get some real news. You know, everybody's got a bias. You can't say no human being has no bias. Everybody does. I don't care. My cat's got a bias, man. She don't like to be petted. It's kind of like my fault a little bit, but I think that plane trip had a little bit to do with it being torn apart from the family, and this is so small compared to. And she's a smart cat. She remembers. But I tapped her on the nose a couple of times for scratching me, just to get her to know what the word no means. So when I say no, she stops. Now I give her the begging and pleading noise, and she stops. Not like a dog. I have to actually talk to this cat. I gotta actually talk to her, just like I'm talking to the camera right now. Literally, that's the way I talk to her. I try to get her. I try to get her to follow commands. She knows the difference between licking and chewing because I don't want her chewing herself. She's gonna chew on and put the brush on her. I put the brush on her so I can get deep, deep inside. So you don't have to get the. She don't have to chew on the matted fur underneath there if there's any. Anyway, getting back to the original point. Um, I've lived through my whole childhood. I've lived through four assassinations. Four: Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Kennedy. Four assassinations. Okay, four. And all four of these people, they wanted to bring peace. They wanted people to come together. They wanted to bring the people together and unify the people and become a country and keep the country going and to fight for the civil rights. Okay, get rid of Jim Crow. So that's why I don't want you to talk to us boomers, man, because we're the tail. Some of us, like me, I'm a tail end of Jim Crow. I'm a transition dude. I lived in the '60s. That was a transition period between Jim Crow and actual, getting along with each other. Literally, the '60s was that transition period. It did a lot of damage, but it did a lot of good. You had black people got their civil rights. Women got the right to. Women got to equal pay. The LGBT community, I'm gonna put that aside for a second because there's something shady on that one. Look up Harvey Milk. Look up Harvey Milk. So, um, like I said, I watch a lot. That's all I do is sit here and watch videos. That's all I do is sit here. I watch as much as I can. I absorb as much knowledge as I can. I don't watch TV because I don't want that. I don't even want commercials around me. When they live stream stuff on here and they got commercials in it, I blank. I got to learn to tune them out because commercials are dangerous, man. They get right in that pathways, man. Right in them gates. Get right in them gates. Two gates they hit. Boom, boom. Eyes and ears. You know. Anyway, I'm just here until my old lady gets here. My girlfriend. And they've been having problems with their electricity and stuff out there more than normal. More than normal with them. And their internet too. More than normal. I've been with this girl since 2015. Almost 10 years. Okay. And I watched the patterns in her country. I was gonna bring her over in 2020, man. I wanted to, and then all the COVID and all that crap hit. I was just getting ready to get my money started, my VA money, so I can get my disability up. Because this neck, I guarantee, it's from training. This is a training act. This is a training incident. So even if it's genetic, it ruined me up. It screwed my neck up faster than normal. My dad lasted until he was in his 50s or 60s before he had the neck fusion. I had mine in my 30 or my mid 40s, 2008. So anyway, and I kept myself in pretty good shape too. So this is totally carrying a base plate or a fucking mortar with a base plate or a tripod on my neck or the freaking base plate and a fucking base plate and tube on my neck because they didn't detach the tube. It was this quick setup there. Nobody carried the tube. You carried the base plate and tube all at one unit, and it was right on my neck. Boom, 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 boom. So plus than 150 pounds on my back. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. And I mean, they just made the biggest mistake in the world. They just made him a living martyr. That's what everyone's starting to call him, living martyr, man. And if they didn't take him out, they would have started a civil war. Guarantee you, every redneck in the world popping out and fucking. I mean, that would have caused a civil war, and it would have been nothing nice because the military would have been divided on this one. Guarantee you, 90% of the military would be supporting Trump, but all the higher ups, the people that pulled the strings, most of them, a lot of them are. I mean, Trump had a good slew of military people around him when he was in office. So, he had some generals up there, admirals, and all that crap. I mean, I think he had most of the Pentagon on his side, except for the TV generals, call them TV generals. All the weirdos. Anyway, Poppy, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want to lay down with Daddy? Want Daddy lay down? We can lay down together. Yeah, she's starting to want a boyfriend. So when she goes in the heat, she starts going in the heat. She cuddles with me, and then when she gets real in the heat, she's in my lap, and I'm burping her. So that's all I got to say about that. I mean, I'm voting Trump. You know, if you want to come at me like, grow the fuck up. Just grow up. I mean, this isn't. I mean, you act like you're playing a freaking volleyball or some shit. This is like your lives on the line. And I'm not talking about people coming after you. I'm talking about people that are in power taking your life. There's people called useful idiots, and you guys that are running YouTube, you're a bunch of useful idiots, man. They already showed you your you. I guarantee you, 90% of the woke people have got shot out of fucking a lot of places right now. So you were a useful idiot, okay? You believe the bullshit, and they gave you a job for 5 years, and then they took everything away from you and made you all fucking homeless. Guarantee you, most of you idiots are gonna become homeless, and you ain't gonna survive on the street. Take it from someone who's been there 11 and a half years. Anyway, love you guys. Peace out. Semper Fi. No, down. End stream. And